Border Barrels back for another week. Another AFL and Supercoach podcast. Here with the boys. They've just got the results in, so we're doing this sort of late on a Sunday. And would you believe
the votes have been counted?
The votes have been counted. Stop the votes. Would you believe that Sime didn't do that well?
Well, no, I wouldn't believe it because the last 2 weeks last week you beat us both, and the week before you well and truly tonked me.
You've got to be hard on myself. So, Huddo, what'd you get?
Total, 24-12.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
No, that's very good.
Controversy. Yeah. What'd you get? What'd you get, Gratz?
At the moment, this is pre-scaling. They just uploaded. 23-44. That should have been more, and I will explain my huge Supercoach mistake a little bit later.
Coming up.
Coming up next, I might explain a few of my mistakes. What's going on?
What'd you end up on though?
Oh, sorry. There's so much of a joke here. 21-41.
I'm that angry that I can't even pick a good player.
Yeah, well, that's probably pretty right. That's pretty right.
Yeah, when we get to the game, we're going to have to talk about your trades this week.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately for you, I feel sorry for you because it's tough, but yeah, we may as well get into it, I guess.
No point in wasting time.
Not too much is past this man. It's a call. It's long. Yes. Toby Green, take a bow. Hit the fence on the full. Big man, 203 centimetres, 112 kilos. A big blow.
I'm even just looking at it here, and even who I had on the field and who I didn't could have changed a little bit. Like, I reckon, is it Robbie McComb?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have had him on the phone, on the field.
We can try and get Robbie. I'll put the call
I had
out.
Clark on. I probably could have had him on over that, but I think a few have him on the field. But anyway, I won't get too carried away with my team.
Before you get into Supercoach, why we why we started doing this podcast was because we love a barrel, and we've really lacked on barrel watch.
Yeah, we have.
But thankfully, the AFL Fox Footy are doing the work for us because they aired a segment today of the two barrels this weekend, and anyone that watched footy saw Jezza kick a big barrel on the siren.
A lot of barrels at Geelong.
Yeah, they love a barrel.
Mitch Duncan
And Zach Tui last year. And then the other barrel, ironically, from another team that loves a barrel after Toby Green last year, Harry Himmelberg, taking a kick in, kicked a big 71-metre barrel.
71.
Which I don't know the length of the ground, but the ball landed past the centre circle.
Yep. Well, he kicked it from the edge of the goal square.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just past the centre circle.
Well, perhaps you could call it a Harry Hindenburg.
Oh.
Except it didn't blow up.
Oh, they humanity.
Well, it came
I don't know how
down.
they said
It came down like Hindenburg, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose it did. Nah, very good. Righto. How are we going to do it? We're talking about the first game.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess we may as well go to the first game. Yeah. We won't skip it and go to the 7th.
Nah, that's right. Bit going on. So Friday's game, Carlton Blues 102, Sydney Swans 87. I'll make a comment. Carlton jerseys, fantastic.
Yep. Big.
Sydney's weren't bad either.
They're okay.
Blanket statement. Sir Doug Nicholls round jerseys are pretty much all good. I think they went 18 for 18 this
They're getting
week.
much better.
Yeah. That's to start off with. Now in this game,
lots of players.
Got off to a tough start for my Supercoach team because I don't have a lot of players. I only had Paddy McCartan on the Sydney side who continues to tick along with a big 85.
We love that.
I had him as emergency with Sam de Koning on, and I went, no, I'm going to take his score over de Koning, and de Koning ended up, spoiler alert, scored 85 as well. So neither a win nor a loss there. That was my one Sydney player. Zach, I know you're collecting them like they're bloody Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah. I don't think I'll bring any more in, but thankfully the top scoring Sydney player, Luke Parker. Now, a lot of people brought in Luke Parker, and my claim to fame is that I think I brought him in a week before everybody else for his big 150 the other week. And he's been great. He's been great for my side. Lowest score so far over 4 weeks of 89. The rest are tons. Scored 112. The other player, Isaac Heaney, who this week scored 94
was
without troubling the scorers, which doesn't happen for Heaney all that often. So I don't mind that, because if you can actually get the amount of touches, the amount of ball that he did playing through the midfield, but snag one or two like he normally does, that's a 110-point game all the time.
I think Josh Kennedy being injured helped. They sent him into the midfield. Sime, did you have any? You have Luke Parker. I know that for a fact.
Luke Parker, and I got McCartan as well. So they were on my field. But on the Blues side, Big Doc, I brought him in this week.
Yeah.
78. But he did
big
get
second
Conehagen.
half, though. Big second half.
Yeah, he was on nothing at half time.
Josh Kennedy, as we mentioned, when him getting injured, which happened in this incident, he hit Doherty in the back of the head and tore his hamstring somehow.
Yeah, and we had a nice little, not disagreement, I think it was just like,
but
it wasn't just because, like, fair enough. Like, it was a bit rough and everything, but I don't know about Sard. Like, the bloke's on the ground holding his hamstring, and Sard's like, righto. Basically,
what are those noises?
Basically, what he said was,
and
he
I
assaulted an
agreed
injured
with
player.
him. I agreed with him. Like, he hit his mate in the back of the head. And especially Doc, like, I reckon there was undertones with that. It's like, Doc, you don't. Like, he's one of those guys. He's off limits.
Doc.
He's off limits. But, you had the Blues in this one, Simon, with Doc scoring 78, and then Paddy Cripps also scoring 78.
So, Paddy Cripps, I'll go
He was my VC, unfortunately.
Listen, I'll go back to Paddy Cripps again. So, the reason why I know I brought him back, because I had him last season. I found him to be either injured or quite inconsistent. So, sorry.
Brownlow favourite at the moment, but his last 2 weeks have been very underwhelming.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Brownlow. We're talking about bloody Supercoach.
No, so Paddy Cripps stitched up in this one, I think. He gave a lot of free kicks away, he was trying to get out of the back 50 in a couple of them, and he was fending off. He was trying to create a goal and fend off, and didn't quite work out for him. But 19 touches, 7 tackles, and a goal. You're not disappointed by it. 84% disposal efficiency from him. He's not normally this quiet, but you look at the 3 big scorers there, and Sam Walsh, he's back, well and truly.
See, I would love to have Walshy.
Yeah, you need to get Walshy in. George Hewitt, who
your new recruit,
finally have, Sime, has still yet to go under 100 this year.
That bloke that you keep talking about that's got his ton run.
Yeah.
I don't know about not including guys that were injured. It's not their fault.
Yeah, but the ton run is you have to score 100 in every game. It's the last person to not score 100. And according to that, he didn't score.
And this week it finally happened.
There is a winner in the ton run from the Twitter user is EMPR_X. But Charlie Curnow has had a few big weeks with Harry Mackay out. Well, Harry Mackay out last week.
Yeah.
He got injured last week in his first week out, and he kicked 6, but he was on 5 with 10 minutes to go in the second.
Yeah, he could have kicked a bag. There's an interesting pod watch in this. A guy who had a massive last quarter. You watch this game. Tom de Koning.
Yeah.
So when I say pod watch, I actually feel like he was underscored a little bit, but he's the number 1 ruck there basically at the moment. So he's only
the
young.
only ruck.
Yeah, but he took 3 massive contested marks late in this game, and also kicked, I think, his first career goal. But just a beautiful set shot from the boundary, just never in doubt. But no, he was quite good. And actually, one of those symmetry things, 1 point off the same score as his brother. Did we work out if they were twins?
1 point off the same score as his brother.
Didn't he
Koning scored 89.
Oh, I thought he scored 84.
4 off.
Now, I'd just like to point out that as much as this is a Supercoach podcast, I'm not strong with numbers.
No. Clearly.
That's okay. And I'm not strong with anything, so I'm going to admit something to you.
Yes.
Are you saying that he does have a brother?
Yeah, the de Koning brothers.
We actually
so glad. Have we already covered this?
We spent a long time on this, so we actually point out that there was Sam and Tom, and they're apparently 2 of 11, and that they consumed the rest of their siblings. And you said the rest of their siblings at Christmas, all they got was a firm handshake and a Christmas card.
Yeah,
and everything else went to the big
I'm
boys.
so glad. I'm still
and
so
that
glad.
is why we call Simo Harvey Norman. 60 months interest free.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right, we're jumping to the next one.
Yeah, we may as well.
We're going to brush over it, but Geelong catch 82, Port Adelaide 47.
Yeah, Gilo.
So I think the biggest story here, I'm going to break this story live.
Exclusive.
Here,
Is
right
it exclusive?
now, is bloody Zach turned himself from margarine to butters.
The full-blown
To
butters.
full-blown bloody, butters.
Leopold Stotch.
He's back.
2 weeks
Kerry
ago, he
Gold
was just
butters.
butter, and now he's butters.
Yeah, butters.
we all know.
118, so that was good.
Can I point out
Back to back. No, what did he score last week? 90 something.
No, it was over 100.
Oh, it was
104,
back to back
I believe. Yep.
tons.
Back to back.
Back to
but
back.
we've pointed this out before, and yes, there's some jealousy from not owning him, but I didn't watch this game, but from looking at stats, has anyone been more overscored in a game than Tom bloody Stewart?
Yeah.
122. And what were his
17
stats?
17 touches, 8 marks.
Oh, no, sorry. 19 kicks, 8 handballs.
Oh, 27 touches, sorry. 8 marks, and that's about it.
And no contested possessions? Oh, a few.
8.
For the second highest score on the ground.
Yeah.
Third highest score on the ground.
Yeah, well. You
And
get that
when
on
we
the
get to
big
when we
jobs.
get to Jackson McRae in a little bit,
Yeah.
we'll air some grievances.
Yeah.
But, no, well done if you've
But
got him.
another one, Mark Blitzars.
Blick Vass, he's still doing it.
the Blick Vass. And
Second dog dick.
He got lucky. Well, no, he didn't get lucky, but Reece Stanley was a laid out in this one, so that helped him as a number 1 rack.
Or Sam Hayes we have to speak about, because everyone with Bruce, if you've got
Got
Hayes
stuck
on the
with
bench,
Hayes.
stuck with it. But you know what? He's a rookie ruck, 72, okay. That's fine.
He's better than a donut, which most
Yeah.
people normally have as R3.
Yes.
Because Bruce was a laid out,
Yes.
and I'll tell you what, got some inside intel because I wouldn't have looked, and I know people that okay. So,
Did he message you? Hey, man, I know you've got
Hey man, yeah, he called in sick, and I just bloody blew up.
typical.
Typical. Anyway,
On a Saturday, I seen your Snapchat stories. You're at the pub last night.
No, he's walking his dog.
no, but I normally wouldn't check, but someone
Oh, man, I'm
someone
going
put
to the
out a
weird.
message there, so thank you to that person who did that. But it was he played pretty well. Good on him. But yeah, you'll certainly take that rather than a big donut.
Yeah, the other talking points of this one, Sam DeConing, as we mentioned, Tom's brother, Simo, I don't know if you
Thank
know
you.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
He another 100% time on ground game for him. Went at 93% disposal efficiency as well. He's looking real good.
Really keep him.
The way he plays footy is looking real good. I tell you what's not looking real good is my ability to tell him, Stewart, Blitzarves, and
Ollie Dempsey.
Zach Guthrie, and Ollie Dempsey apart.
Yeah.
They're all the same person.
DeConing's still without a Rising Star nomination.
Yeah, it could be this week.
Could be this week.
Could it be?
Could be this week.
And the other one, Cooper Stevens, has laid in, played his second game for 64, which is another good score from him.
So he's on the bubble. So
The problem is his job security.
do we? Depends. If you think you've got enough going on in your midfield to cover, and I might be about to have Greg Clark as bench cover, I could
Do
probably.
you not have him?
I've got Greg Clark, but I might be about to bring in my last midfield premium.
Oh.
So if you're about to bring in your last midfield premium, but you want another mid rookie to make some money on, and then when they play, they can score, okay? You could consider Stevens.
Yeah.
I think you could consider Stevens for sure.
But the worry is,
He's mid only too.
and coming into bye rounds, you do want a couple of green dots on your bench.
Definitely.
You need to collect green dots like Gratzy collects Sydney players.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's about it from this one. Ollie Wine, Zach's man, another 100. Underwhelming 100 from him again. He got tagged.
Got 150 last week.
Yeah. Well,
I
most.
still don't have him, but
But no, what I'm saying is like he sneaks to hundreds.
He does.
You watch him and you're like, I guess.
he's very, very sneaky.
Incognito. Throwback.
Cool. So next one.
Yep.
All right. Western Bulldogs 106.
The goal comes.
87. And they went by that name that was in the sound grab this week for me.
Oh, you didn't like what they dished up.
No, I didn't like the scores. I didn't like the bloody.
They could have won this game.
Yeah, but they bloody well didn't.
Briefly, no, they didn't.
They didn't.
They had a few, but the big story from this game, which we all don't have because we've got Bruce, but Jared Witts has been phenomenal. Like, I just want to kind of mention him if people really are considering, which it's played in my mind. I wouldn't say no if I had an extra trade to getting rid of Gawn. He's just not doing it for me the last couple of weeks, and I'm worried that that's his role now.
Read these scores out.
I'm not going to read all the scores out, but he's gone under 100 3 times out of 10 games.
But his last 5 is that?
So his last 5, hasn't gone under 113. And that 113 is his only score under 130 in his last 5, Sime. I can see you're not watching.
It's a very bright screen. We're talking about Max Gawn.
Nope. Thanks, Harvey. But Jared Witts never averaged over 100 in his career.
Oh, he went very, very close.
He
one
did
year.
0.3 off, but coming off an ACL, he's currently averaging 119.8. That's huge.
It's massive.
And he dominates he's prime Goldstein with his hit-outs, 55 on Saturday, admittedly against Jordan Sweet, but
Who
he's
still
doing it to
scored
most.
okay himself.
Yeah. But players we have now, Sime, you're not happy with the gold.
Yeah, so-
why?
Campaigners.
Well, I had Took 59.
Yeah, that
Rao
I also had.
39.
Yeah, I think it might
But
be.
I mean, McRae and Dunkley, good on you. They played pretty
No,
well.
McRae, though. Can I just point out something about McRae? I finished my game of footy yesterday, pulled my phone out. This game had just finished. Check Supercoach. McRae, 220. Had him outright captain after Cripps failed. And went, okay, McRae scored 110. I went to the AFL app. 34 touches. Okay. Like, fair enough. I thought it was long enough that the scaling had happened. Check back 10 minutes later. Jackson McGraw, 208.
he went down.
He went down a lot.
Yeah, and why do you think that is? Do you think it's because, like, that dude's got enough points?
Nah,
Who were
well,
they giving him to?
Oh,
I think it was like the late goals would have been my guess. Like all
Was
the
this
points
close
that-
the whole game? I actually haven't seen
Yeah,
his.
it was pretty close. They kicked a couple of late ones. I think at one point Rosas kicked a goal for Gold Coast that brought them back in single figures.
Also, we put...
It was still only 19 points.
Yeah.
But as Simo mentioned, Dunkley ticking over. He's been good for our teams. Jack McRae again, another 100. It is what it is.
the man of the hour we need to trade in.
Yeah. Now there's 2 from this game and 2 that take my eye, but I am leaning more towards 1 because of how good he is as a footballer. It pains me to say.
No, don't. It's not pain. He's a great man.
Marcus Bontempelli, 130, kicked 3 goals. He is currently under 600K. I believe about 580.
Yeah,
Very
nice.
but
Very
he
nice.
may not be after this.
But no, he is. That's what I'm saying. He'll only go up to that. He'll only go up to like 590, I believe.
Ooh, hopefully. Don't quote us on that. Numbers, remember. Numbers.
And I've got a spreadsheet on my other computer that has that confirmed. But you bring him in as a midfielder, and after next week, if he plays 1% forward next week, he will gain forward status,
It's juicy.
which means I can bring him in, and this week he'll complete my midfield, and then next week he can complete my forward line, and I can complete my midfield with someone else.
Marcus Bontempelli, you not only complete me, you complete us.
You complete our mids and then our forwards.
I like him too, and I'll tell you why. He looks like a bloke that you know.
Yeah.
He just looks generically.
Yeah, like
that's a
so
guy I know.
Christmas time, you're walking downtown, he's walking around, you're like, oh, that's bloody Bont from high school.
Do you also know-
that
remember
guy.
Yeah, but that's
He
because
looks
you
like
went to
a
high
nice
school
guy.
with everyone.
Yeah, I suppose.
We watch anything, and Jason Dunstall, he's
Yeah, I
40
went to
years
hi-
older than
yeah.
you, and Simo's like, oh, yeah, no, Dunstall from school.
Someone else, Chris Grant. Remember him?
Yeah, I
You
do.
probably went to school with him.
Nah.
Do you know Chris Grant, right?
Yeah.
300 game, Bulldog legend.
White mouth
Bont had been at the Dogs for 1 year, and Chris Grant said, he was teaching me things.
Oh, there you go. How
That's my-
good.
Yeah.
Teaching him.
I hope it's not how to act, because that Amy ad's tough to watch.
The rookie roulette situation.
No, the other person I was going to
Oh,
say,
sorry.
that will do the exact same as Bont, but isn't as appealing, even though he is cheaper, is Bailey Smith.
Still appealing, but yeah.
Very appealing still, and actually,
very appealing, I would say.
now
He's a very-
Simo's not Harvey Norman anymore.
He's a handsome man.
Simo's a bloody American Express credit card with his high interest rates now.
No, I don't really understand. The haircut's tough for me.
Yeah, the haircut's tough, but the rig's not. Well, the rig is tough because he's worked on it. But
Yeah, good on him.
no, so Bailey Smith is a lot cheaper than Bont, or 50K cheaper, but he actually is averaging more than Bont this year.
Yeah.
But
did he have
because he
two
goes
down
big,
games?
he
Yeah.
goes big, and then he goes not little, but not great. But he could do the same. Bring him in your midfield this week for me, finish it, and then next
Potentially.
week he only needs 3% forward time
God, I
to
hope-
get forward.
I hope these stats are correct. That's awesome.
No, I'm 100%.
Oh, yeah.
All these percentages, I'll give you 100. That's how confident I am.
Now, the rookie roulette I was speaking of,
Yes.
a lot of people this week were like Mr. Burns, and they were looking at the catch-up and the catch-up, but it was Buku Kamas and Rory Thompson.
Who?
Buku Kamas and Rory Thompson.
That's all. Whoever that guy is, I need him. What a legend.
You don't want him.
Now, here's the issue.
I want to know who he is.
If you'd go with Rory Thompson,
I'd have a beer with him.
Mr. Thompson,
Mr. Thompson.
123K, has barely played and was going okay, good job security. Now, we're worried, I think he may have done
Torn
his
meniscus.
ACL.
Nah,
Okay.
meniscus.
He's still going to be out, but he scored 23 points. And you might think, wow, really, Grazzi? He scored 23 and he got injured.
And you'd still
Must have
prefer
picked the
him.
other guy. Buku Kamas, 12 points.
Oh, gee. Okay, I know I
And
don't want him.
reported for a late hit on Farah.
I did not know that.
Well, I think the
no,
the
not
12
reported,
points
but-
was straight up Karmas.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good from you.
Good for him.
Karmas with a hit out as well. He played in the ruck for a bit.
He should hopefully keep his spot.
This adds to a very interesting list of third game players this year.
They keep scoring very badly.
Yeah, so typically when we bring in our rookies in the previous years, you get them off 2 good scores, as we have done this year. Now, Buku Kamas and Rory Thompson are the latest in a list of players who have been very underwhelming in their third game. Morris Rioli Jr. scoring 7 in his third game, being 1.
And it was on 7 at quarter time last night, which I
Yep.
really liked. I don't know why I liked it.
Malcolm's Rosie Arse, Malcolm's Rose Arse, with his big 18 in his third game. It's not a... And then Greg Clark, 55 this week, we like. But compared to his last 2 weeks, we don't like.
Look, it's a bit of a epidemic. It's not at pandemic levels yet.
Okay.
But almost. But yeah, I think that's what we've got.
Dung, dung. All right.
Third game players from this one, Riley West, if you want to pay 190K for a mid forward actually, I believe.
But the big one.
Luke Cleary, defender only. We've been screaming for defender rookies. He has gone, I think, 68 and 75. So that's a decent.
We've got one.
Another one, Joel Jeffrey.
Sudar.
This is his third game coming up this week, but I'm avoiding.
Simo's favourite player automatically because he kicked a goal over his head, which apparently
mate.
that's how you warm the cockles of his heart.
Oh, is it?
Riley Thilthorpe last year.
Yeah. I was
All
gonna
good
say
names.
Thrill Thorpe.
Yeah.
Good names or kicks over heads.
Thilthorpe, Sudar-Jeffrey,
I,
97.1.
SUDAR-JEPHADRINE.
there's no way I could kick one over my head.
SUDAR-JEPHADRINE.
Good. I reckon if I was to kick one over my head, I'd have to stretch for many years.
Yeah.
to get that happening. Very good.
Well, you said you went for a run today, which was a jog and you're tight. So imagine if you had to kick a ball over your
Oh,
head.
it was a fair jog, but yeah, my tights are so hips.
Tighter
what I
than
was
my
gonna
wallet
say.
when it's my shout. Moving on.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's very
That's
poignant
apt.
from you.
Yeah.
Some people got a kick out of that.
Accurate.
Melbourne Demons 100, North Melbourne 50.
Very false from you, Sime. Not Melbourne Demons. For this
No,
week
yeah.
and next week, they
Oh,
are
sorry.
Nam
Oh,
Demons.
and they've even got it
But
there.
why wasn't it Nam Demons versus North Nam?
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you what.
What? Nam Demon sounds all right. It just sounds like Nam.
North Nam.
North Nam sounds like what the
The-
US called, like was
Vietcong.
sending them into North Nam.
Yeah, I just feel.
Sorry.
I just feel like first goal, you'd just be spinning it. You'd be just like, here's something to learn in Nam. Straight through the middle. Straight through the middle.
But also, if they weren't selling Nam bread at the footy yesterday,
Oh, good.
The other stat from the stat from this one, Melbourne Demons undefeated this year. Nam Demons also undefeated.
Yes.
And
Clayton Oliver undefeated as a fucking
yeah, that was
legend.
huge. Who kicked the first goal for Nam yesterday? I think. I don't know. Ed Langdon. It was.
Oh,
And
that was it.
Nam's first goal ever. And he has broken ribs.
Oh, was it? I didn't see what the
Confirmed.
injury was.
Well, they believe.
It was,
and they're saying Taron Thomas
they
might
got
miss a week
shelled.
for it. Did you see it?
Hmm.
Big tackle. Shouldn't have been. It won't be a week. I would honestly be very disappointed in the AFL Judiciary Committee if that's the case. But yeah, his second game under 100% game time.
Yeah.
Who did we have?
Oh, look, Oliver, Do you have Petrarca, Simon?
I got Petrarca.
Look, that was good.
Petrarca, but not Oliver.
Petrarca, that's unfortunate, but Petrarca is actually a very good option, and I can tell you why.
I'll tell you why.
Now, not everyone, but most people are struggling for numbers the first 2 weeks of the bye. The third week of the bye, we're looking like we're going to have enough players. Melbourne have the bye in the third week. So if you need a premium to play through the buys, a Melbourne player is a good option.
Yes.
And Petrarca's at a very good price, and he's a gun player, and he rarely plays poorly, and you can get him for under 600K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good bloke. I reckon he's a good bloke.
So maybe you could finish your midfield with him and get Bont into your forward line, hopefully, and we'll be laughing.
Yeah, Sime, did you see what Clayton Oliver got?
No, I don't.
178. No, but Petrarca 114, which you'd be happy with on any other day if Clayton
for sure.
Oliver wasn't there.
Yeah.
Now, sense of occasion. This is Goodwin's only fault as a coach recently. Clayton Oliver hit 42 disposals, and the most by a Melbourne player in history is 48. Now, Clayton Oliver did that with over 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter and spent 5 minutes on the bench, which, even if he's got nothing left in the tank, just keep him out there. He can fall his way into a couple of touches.
Yep.
But he only had 2 clangers, which is very impressive from him. 22 contested possessions. On the North Narm side,
All I can see is Tristan Zeri's incredible stats. They're looking me right in the eye.
One
They're
kick.
spitting in my face.
1 kick, 1 handball, 3 tackles, 15 hitouts and a goal. Sime, what's your guess for Supercoach?
47.
That's way more than I thought you'd say, but also way less than what he got because he got 71.
From 2 touches.
Oh, I don't know how.
He had 2 more touches than you did.
Okay,
in this game.
Yeah, okay. So what you're saying is that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he must have been a lot of effective hitouts.
Yeah, I don't know how the scores are.
Yeah.
It'll shock
now,
you.
No one knows. I think that's the problem with
Did
Supercoach.
Did you make fun of someone we may know at the start of the pod of having Aiden Core in their Supercoach team?
Well, we didn't say it in the start of the pod, but we said it off air. Picking on having Aiden Core. But I believe I made fun of him because of how many North Melbourne players he had, and it just so happened that Aiden Core was at the top of the list.
He's got 136.
136.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone has a decent day sometime in their life.
You got to have it. That's a pod. That is a sneaky
No,
pod.
it's not a pod, because the pod in this game scored 127, and it's Luke McDonald.
Oh, it is.
He's scoring very well.
Yes, but just before you move on, I just want to say it's always good to have a strong core. Hey?
Oh, Jesus.
Hey?
That's the best sound grab we've had.
No, it really is. I mean, what are we doing?
I just wanted...
Are you going to tell us what the bloody coaches or how much water was poured?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
that?
A lot of stats.
You know who was poor? If you got Jai Simpkin,
Speaking of bored,
if you got Jai Simpkin as a pod,
poor pod.
21 disposals, 6 marks, 3 tackles, 37 points.
Yeah, like ours. Jerry, 2 touches, 71. Jai Simpkin, 21 touches, 37.
You geriatric fuck!
Yeah. I don't understand Supercoach at all. But no, the one that I just want to spend a little bit more time on this one because everyone's been picking him for a breakout year for his whole career. Luke Davies-Uniacke, LDU, when he knocked himself out, scored 27, came back, had a couple of 70s. But other than that, has gone 90 or above pretty much every game with a couple of hundreds sprinkled in. And he's leading their midfield.
He's a very talented footballer.
Scoring 90s, and he's only 450K, which is an awkward price. But his 3-round average is 102, Zach. Could do worse. Sime?
I'll say what Zach said. Very good. All right, we're moving on.
Yep.
All right. St Kilda, bloody Saints, 90. LA Crows, 69.
Adelaide led for most of the game, threw it away at the end.
Have a grand total of 0 players in this game, but I'm jealous of those that have Jack Sinclair. And would you like to hear my horrible...
I have Jack Sinclair.
Would you like to hear my horrible trade story now?
Yeah, would you like... Then I'll follow up with one.
Oh.
Okay, so I had my trade sorted all week. The main one was going to be Bowie upgraded to Jordan Dawson. I've been telling everyone I'm doing it for 2 weeks. And I don't know what happened, But I thought for some reason North Melbourne was Sunday. And I thought, cool, I've got time. I'm going to finish football, make sure, because everyone's getting COVID, make sure Jordan Dawson's not all laid out, and I'll do it last minute. And then I was checking the Supercoach scores, the live updates, and I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. Oliver's going well. Gawn's going well. Bowie. Melbourne's playing now. Yep, good. Didn't make the trade. That's great. But Bowie was on 21 at quarter time, and I thought, look, might get away with this. Bowie ended up scoring 41.
Oh, that's not good.
Then I thought, okay, maybe Jordan Dawson won't play so well. Checked the score for the first time halfway through the second quarter. Jordan Dawson was on 22 points. Beauty. Okay, I'm not going to miss out on too much. Game finishes. What did Jordan Dawson finish on?
130.
I've missed out on 90 points. And with my final score of 23-44, that could have been really, really good.
Yes.
Instead, it will be really, really only okay.
Yes.
Jordan Dawson actually ended the third quarter on 80 points too, which was big.
Interesting, actually, if you look at his stats, though. 19 kicks, 3 handballs, 1 tackle, 2 goals, no contested possession, 68% efficiency, top scored.
Kicked a goal and took several intercept marks in the last quarter. Okay. Rory Laird, 105. That's another ton for him, especially, and big because he was on about 60 at three-quarter time.
And most people brought him in for steal.
Yep. And Ben Keys, my man, who I broke. Sorry to all the Ben Keys owners out there. Hadn't gone under 110 all year. Bring him in 106, 100 on the dot, and 96, thus ending his ton run and handing the title to Lachie Neale. But yeah, I have Jack Sinclair, which is big, 138.
Now,
what was yours?
Well, who wants to know who had Jack Sinclair and Rory Laird in their team, and then they went, no, actually, Doc and who else did I trade in? Oh, God.
This is a good point, you forgot.
That was a good point. I traded in Doc and
Cripps?
Brayshaw.
Oh, yeah, Brayshaw.
Yeah, so my logic was I liked those two guys, but then I looked at the ladder and I'm like, yeah, but they've got potential for having like real clangers, like them only scoring 36 points. If they only score 36 points, they don't have an opportunity to score big Supercoach scores. Anyway, they scored very big, and I think I may have made the wrong decision, but who cares? I'm just moving on.
Can confirm wrong decision.
There you go. All right.
No kids in this one. Well, when I say kids, no third gamers. Fourth gamer, though, for this year, Jackson Hately.
Oh, no, not who I thought you were going to say. Soligo.
Oh, yeah, Soligo, 96.
But he was sort of on the bubble because he actually had like a 10
was
from being a medical sub.
Yeah, 7.
So if you actually went on it, but no one expected him to score 96.
No.
And he'd probably be priced out now. He also got 4 free kicks. That won't happen every week. But no, he's a good little player.
And Josh Rochelle, if you still have him, why? And don't.
Yeah.
Delete team.
Don't even say what he got.
Okay.
Jay Gresham owners, I think you can keep him now.
Yeah,
Now-
I'd tell you the other one that sorry.
We're going
I was just going to say owners. I'm not too sure about the term owners.
Yeah, now we say that.
Okay.
The one that
acceptable.
I flirted with bringing in this week and ended up with Sicily, which I'm not unhappy about, was Brad Crouch. A very weird name. I did have him many, many moons ago in his Adelaide days when he came off that big injury. But Brad Crouch has been big for anyone looking for it. He's a big mid-pod. Mid-pod. 489K. He will jump up quite a lot with his 37 break-even. But he has 149 this year, which is very Brad Crouchy.
Sorry, that was just a 49, not 149.
No. 49. And other than that, hasn't gone under 96 and only has 4 scores under 100.
Well, his average over the last 3 weeks is up around 125. By the looks.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, it was 100 coming into this game where he scored 127.
Oh, but 3-week average. So he's 111,
Yeah,
140, 127 over the last 3 games. So.
Yeah, so Sime.
There's a
I
pod.
reckon get Brad Crouch.
You reckon?
I reckon I'm
I
going
want to get Jared.
Crouch.
Yeah.
Not bad. Good
Okay.
from you.
What about Peter Crouch?
Maybe.
Oh, God.
How good.
Anyway,
that's-
He could be a good footballer.
Yeah, he could. That's a real tall guy from, I don't know.
He played for
was
Stoke
Striker.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
anyway, he was pretty tall. Next game?
Sure.
All right. Yes, we're up to Richmond Tigers 80.
Essendon supporters.
48.
Essendon supporters didn't watch.
Well, we can go over this real, like you can just glaze over this.
Yeah,
if you want.
Darcy Parish was on 16 touches and 12 points at one point.
This is the most disgraceful 128 I've ever seen.
I'll take it.
Never seen a player get 43 touches and been so poor.
8 tackles.
So poor.
19 contested possessions.
8 clangers went at 62%. There were times in this game where this is getting into footy analysis, but there were times in this game we could have won if he had kicked to an Essendon player.
All right. When we won't spend...
But
yeah, no, look, I was surprised he got 128. When the game finished, I don't think he was anywhere near that, and he got upscaled.
Tex Wanganeen came on, which I love to see. Could have kicked a goal early, but didn't. Nick Martin, time to move on, 49.
He's done.
The wall has been hit, and he was on 29 at three-quarter time, so that was good. It was a good recovery. Ben Hobbs, 73, which was good.
He's looking good as a rookie.
Can drop punt. He can kick a footy at goal very nicely. And then on
Jaden Short.
Richmond side, Jaden Short, 110, and Morris, Rioli Jr., 67.
Also, Dustin Martin scored the worst 78 I reckon I've ever seen.
Yeah.
How many? 17 touches at 58%. 2 behinds.
That's points for name.
Yeah, I think
there.
it was.
Sime, do you have anyone else different?
No, so I had Rioli and he scored more than 7, which is fantastic. I thought
60 more than 7.
I was like, righto, well, he's going to the bench. And I'll put him in for Clark. And then, okay, all right, here we go.
And you talk about the Karmas bus.
I know, not doing that well. No, I had
Comes bus.
we spoke about Short. Yeah,
Yes.
that's all right. Yeah, no, I didn't have anyone. We'll keep moving.
Old hamstrings Prestia, 126 best on.
I played someone in a league that has him.
The
Like, as
problem
if.
with Prestia is if he never got injured, he'd be a great pick.
He probably would be a good pick.
He finds the footy very easily. Yeah, that's probably it.
If you held Gibkes, he got you 60. I think he would still make money on that.
Surely he's not still getting around.
No, because he missed last week, but
Yeah.
I traded him.
Next game. GWS Giants 138. West Coast Eagles 86.
Put your hand up if you traded out Cogs.
Yeah, I did. So you both didn't.
No.
Oh, there you go. He had 1 week left in him. The most amazing part of this game, 86. Is that a top score for West Coast this year?
Yeah, in a losing effort. I think it's like the second or third best score they've
That's
had.
not bad from them, actually.
Yeah, no,
86.
it's
Jesus.
High scoring
absolutely. They
game.
kick very straight. Oh, they kicked.
Both teams
fairly
did, actually.
They kicked straight enough.
Yeah.
About as straight as a roundabout.
Yeah.
No, so what was your reasoning for trading Cogs?
I just wanted to use the money
Okay, fair.
because I thought he was maxed out, but I don't quite understand. Oh, also no, his break even
Yeah, it was 146.
was 146, and I didn't think he had 140 anything in him.
Yeah, and he actually finished on 141 and
So he
got
will lose
downscaled one, so he's
Yeah.
going to lose an extra little bit of money.
No, but that's right. But yeah, I'm just getting my head around the break even. So I thought, well, he hasn't scored that.
Now, Zach, I'd love to know your reason for keeping him because I reckon it's the same as mine.
New coach. Let's see what role he has.
Exactly.
And what did he have? 36 disposals at 91% disposal efficiency.
14 contested possessions, 7
tackles.
clearances. He was a follower. He was named on ball, and he played on ball and looked good, and I think it'll continue.
My man Josh Kelly just going for it again as a pod. 125. Thank you, mate.
Peatling at under 250 skate scored 250k, not a 250 skate. He scored 132. Matt Flynn is a late in for Bruce, 133. And one that I've had my eye on all year, but I couldn't bring myself to get him because he's scoring so uneven, so up and down. Harry Perryman, 138.
We have a defender rookie watch that we've had for about 3 years now that finally played.
Jacob
Ware.
Where have you been,
Where have
Jacob?
you been? But
And
he
he
can
was
goal.
really good.
Yeah, he only scored 51, but there's a lot of points to go around to his teammates, to be fair.
He's really... He looks really sharp. He looks like a new Lockie Whitfield. And God, they need one of them because the old ones
Yeah, that one's
needs
shit.
replacing. That's probably it from that one.
Yeah,
I
we don't have
think.
too much to.
All right, we'll keep going.
No one even knows any of the West Coast players.
No, but
Patrick
Clark, as
Naish
we spoke
continues
about.
the streak of being the only West Coast player to play every game this
And
year.
being bad. If you had Brody Hoff, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I saw there was a couple of guys that I saw online that had him as the captain loophole for a VC, and he came on late and scored 3. That hurts.
Righto.
Never, yeah. As a rule, Sime, just for you. And anyone listening that isn't aware, don't put captains on medical subs. It's not worth the risk.
It's not worth the risk.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty tough. Yeah. Even I know that. Righto. Next game, Hawthorn Hawks 117, Brisbane Lions 112. Now,
Go the boys.
this scoreline wouldn't quite suggest, and it doesn't really line up with what you said before.
What did he say before?
You're like, oh, Brisbane don't even worry us anymore. Or something to the effect.
You don't lose to Brisbane.
No. Here's a stat. Hawthorn's the only team Brisbane hasn't beaten since 2020.
There you go.
How come everyone online was like, why is this in Tassie?
Yeah,
What
because
do you mean,
Brisbane were in a home jersey.
No, but like, I think the problem is like they keep, apparently, I don't know this for a fact, but everyone was complaining that
we've
every
read.
time Brisbane play Hawthorn at home, it's always in Tassie.
That is true.
And it's like,
That's not Hawthorn or Brisbane's fault.
no, I know, but like,
it's probably because it's Brisbane.
yeah, but Brisbane now are a top 4 side. Like,
This
I'm
could have
sure there's a
been.
lot of people in Melbourne that would love to watch Brisbane play.
Did you watch this game?
I watched a bit of it. I watched fan footy mostly because I was watching
If
the
you
end
were
of the GWS game and then flicked back straight to the Freo Collingwood game. But I did read that the umpiring was
No, hang on. No, not about the result. But if you were a neutral supporter, you would have loved this on a Friday night. Like, high scoring, was close the whole game. I am 100%, it was just over umpired. And there was actually an incident where both teams
There was
benefited in the last quarter.
63 free kicks.
Yeah, it's the most for a long time.
That's disgusting.
But there was
I
an
think we had an episode
I'm
last year on
glad.
the pod where we were like, umpires need to fuck off.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
free
no,
kicks.
and I usually
That's too
don't blame
many.
the umpires. I blame the rule makers. This was over umpired. There was an incident where Tom Mitchell was getting up and just sort of shoved his opponent as he was getting up. They paid a free kick. The opponent kicked a goal from it. And then when Newcombe was like, are you kidding? A Brisbane player came in and shoved him. So they said, free kick in the centre at the restart of this. And then Newcombe kicked it in. And then Mitch Lewis and Harris Andrews went at the ball. And they went, free kick Lewis for some reason. And then we
Harris
got the
Andrews
goal
didn't
back.
touch him. It was...
Oh, the whole 5 minutes
Yeah.
was the strangest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, I'm stoked we won. But Sicily, if we got Sicily,
Yes,
we're
I
bloody
do.
happy.
I brought him in.
Tom Mitchell is
Nah.
super cheap.
Yeah.
His last game, it came out that he actually had the flu and he played with it, and that's why he missed the following week because he was so cooked.
But I
Flu
think...
game.
Yeah, see, Jordan dropped 40.
Yeah.
So he's the
When he
cheapest
had the
he's
flu.
ever going to be. But I'm hoping we can still get him as a forward.
But his scoring's still not great, is it? If you,
What's his average now with that 120 in it?
with the 120 in it, it goes up to about 95, but it's more so that he's had 5 scores under 90.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, but that was good. The other one, obviously, most of us have Lockie Neal. If you had him as captain, not the best.
Yeah,
Oh, Simo, you got Daniel Rich.
yeah,
Yes,
you do.
I do. I think I'm the only person in the world.
He's getting
maybe.
wider somehow. I don't know how that's possible.
He's looking thick.
I bet you can kick further, hey?
Yeah.
Favourite in the preseason, Kadeem Coleman scored a 104. And
Yeah.
remember last week we talked about in memoriams for Supercoach players that are done? I've got a preemptive one.
Yep.
Zach Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Never,
He was
ever,
never
ever,
really
ever,
there,
ever,
though.
ever will
He
be
was
on my
never
team.
really
ever
there,
again.
though. But, like, yeah, he's not even in
Oh,
consideration
upscale to 22
anymore.
from 19. You fucking...
Jeez. Doesn't like Zach Bailey. Confirmed. The other one that in memoriam after last year, Jarman Impey.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
now gone poorly again. In memoriam for
Zeeble.
never being able to finish a game is Will Day.
I don't know what he did. Someone said he was limping and on crutches.
He's
but,
he's.
They're playing him in the midfield now, which I like.
Do you know
but-
what's not funny about it? It's not funny at all. But they had Buckley commentating the Freo Collingwood game, and he actually came out and said, "Now Nathan Murphy got absolutely pumped by Andrew Brayshaw, like straight in the guts. Fair bump, good bump." And Nathan Buckley like. Yeah, so this is the worst thing about Nathan is he just can't finish games.
Oh,
Take it easy, Chief.
So
like,
Buckley
you do
coached
not
him.
like him.
Buckley knows
And
it.
I was like, Where was this energy when Will Day came off again?
By the way, Sam Butler's on the bubble next week. Only scored 49, but he kicked 2 and looked very good. I think he'll
Scored
keep his
17
spot.
in his first, though.
Yeah, he did. The other one, if you brought in Dylan Moore the other week, he started slowly, still finished on 101. And out of Supercoach, but Max Lynch, did you see what happened with him?
No, he apparently got headbutted again.
No, he sort of, it looked innocuous, like it got him in the cheekbone, but he was laying on the ground, took him a bit to get up, and when he came off the ground with the trainers, was crying.
It's because he's been knocked out
He's knocked
twice
out
now this year.
He has, but I feel like the doctors have said if this happens again, like you might be done for the year. I feel like he knows more than we know because it was very late in the game. Like, and I think at that point it was like I reckon we're looking like we're going to win. It wasn't like, oh shit, I can't contribute today. It was a bit more fun. Yeah, so just hope that he's a good border boy, and we just hope that he's all right.
He started the season as maximum Lynch. He's now minimum Lynch.
Oh.
We should get him on here.
Yeah, he would love it. He's got his own podcast.
He's got lunchtime podcast.
Lunchtime podcast.
Well, we should get on there.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
What?
Lunch, maximum lunch.
That's pretty good.
It could have been Chips. That was cool. The other one now, you've been on about him all year, and I said that my man Nick Martin was favourite for Rising Star, but Jai Newcomb was big. It'll be interesting.
Martin's had 2 quiet weeks.
I think Newcomb and Martin are very close now, and it'll be interesting to see how the year goes on because they will both keep their spot.
I think Newcomb might have just slightly tipped in front because of the last 2 weeks, and Dacos has just still been sort of stagnating a little bit.
Yeah, Dacos will be. Dacos is a very comfortable third.
The only thing I pointed out is Newcomb's got the body to actually continue to go the whole season and. Like, just his build, I think he can cop knocks all year and keep going. I think Dacos and Martin he's older, but he's slight.
No, but Martin's game's not built for that. The way he plays is different. So, and he wasn't built for that game on Saturday night because it wasn't because it was Richmond. It was because they put so much of an emphasis on hitting and flying the flag and being physical that it just didn't suit Nick Martin. He's that. Like, as the commentators love to say, he's your Rolls Royce kind of, like your Josh Kelly who hangs about the outside kind of player.
Well, there was a lot of flag flying. I just hope they all voted for the Pirate Party. Anyway, one final game to go. We've got ship. It's a ship theme.
Yes, well, yeah, I suppose so. Collingwood Magpies, 80. Fremantle Dockers, 44.
Simo's like, magpies, ships.
Yeah, that
I wasn't aware.
Magpies aren't swallows.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah,
Get a big win up your Collingwood.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, this is not what we thought. But looking at the ground, and that was a shocker.
Speaking of ships, you needed a bloody boat to get around.
Coal Can Footy Oval was in better nick than Optus Stadium was.
Yeah, well, I think it was probably more of a Melbourne footy field than a.
It looked like Brisbane on a dewy night.
Oh God, yes, it did.
Which we do not enjoy.
Yeah, no, we don't enjoy. It's awful. So
and I tell you who didn't enjoy the weather, Mason Cox. He lost the goggles very early. He took them off because he didn't have his windscreen wipers installed.
They do nothing!
Honestly, so
he didn't have the wipers installed and they were bloody fogging.
I don't know if you heard, but Albanese got in last night, Labor Party.
Yeah.
And his first act was he's actually getting rid of Mason Cox. And he's but there's going to be 2 separate flights. His goggles are going to be on the first flight. Get the fuck out of here.
You know what he should have done is, you know what he needs, because he's got his he's got his like transition lenses. Oh, they bet if their transition's even funnier. But he's got his sunny goggles for like day games when it's a bit bright, so he can see and the sun doesn't affect him. But in the wet, he needs to get on a speedo and have the bloody mirrored.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
the competition
sealed
ones that sink in real time.
But like
full Phelpsy.
Look like he's going to a tanning bed or something.
Well, it would actually be fairly apt because he is swimming. And he is barely keeping his head above water.
For his life.
Yeah, he needs the goggles because he is going deep.
Yeah.
I honestly can't believe he's still here.
Well, they brought him back for this game to be number one ruck, and then
he got to sing the song.
I think he broke a finger early or something.
There's one of those weird games I'm noticing where more Freo players turned up.
Yeah, so because all the Freo mids turned up. And
6 Freo players, 2 Collingwood players.
Yeah, but Collingwood were they had the tackle pressure. I think before half time they were on like 50 tackles. I think.
That is,
yeah, they ended on 89 tackles.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wet weather footy does that to you.
But anyway, who'd you have? Because you had
back
a lot
in
of
the
players in
Supercoach,
this.
yeah, I had a ton of players. Speaking of tons, Will Brodie, 144.
I'm going to bring him in this week.
No, you're not.
142.
I brought in Zebel last year at the buys.
No,
Yeah,
100
fucking shit. Fucking
144.
Oh.
He's been upscaled. Refresh your browser.
Oh, maybe we've got 2 more points.
Yay, Sime.
Brayshaw
That'll make
went
up
up
for
on
getting
mine,
rid
but I
of
think
Kouts.
my overall points went down somehow.
Brayshaw, 94 I had as well.
Back-to-back 94s is weird.
Back to back.
Whatever.
And then on the Collingwood side, I brought in Darcy Cameron. He's got 130. And Jack Crisp, 107. And fare thee well, Nick Dacos, his final week in my team, he scored 65.
Well, from a lot of touches too. I just
Yeah,
realised.
23 touches. And very unlike him, he only went at 73%. But if you're out there looking for a player, Sime, Jordan Clark, I have a soft spot for Jordan Clark, but he scored 105.
Yeah.
In a wet game, which was interesting, he kind of played really well. But Jordan Clark's score, Sime, if you're interested, he's about a 430k. In his last 6, has a low score of 88.
94, 88, 95, 95, 88, 105.
That's not bad, not bad, not bad.
It's consistent.
And he's finding his role there.
Yeah.
And there was no other...
Fuck you, Cats.
Oh.
You get it?
Oh, he's saying fuck you, Cats.
Yeah.
Because he left the Cats.
Yeah.
And got there. Anything else, Sime? Any other players for you?
No, I don't think so.
What are the plans trade-wise for you? Don't trade out Cogs?
Yeah, probably trade him
Bring
back.
him back.
I'll bring him back.
Bring him back.
Do you know who I'm bringing back this week? Alir.
No, you're not. Don't do
What
it.
did he score?
Nothing.
But he's a great guy.
Yeah, but
that's not...
they don't give points. Oh, well, they do give points for being a great guy to Bont, but Alirali scored 73.
There you go.
Yes.
Solid.
I guess.
He is solid. He's scoring potential. May not be.
Yeah, well.
I don't know what I'm doing, but it's going to be... I have 17 trades, 3 boosts, and 358k in the bank.
That's a lot. That's a good position.
But I haven't meant for this to happen just because I'm a fucking idiot. Is why it's happened.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I can
Irrespective of his Supercoach
I will.
trades.
But I scored well enough this week. I'll do 2 upgrades. I'm hoping to get Dawson and Bont in.
Good stuff.
So that is the plan at the minute.
Dawson and Bont.
Dawson and Bont.
You're going to use a boost.
Yeah. Whoa. I've got 3 left.
How
Why
many... yeah, so I've got 15 trades left, no boost. But how many rookies do you have on field? And so for me, I'm suggesting that like McCartan is a rookie.
not? Yep. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
For me, Cameron is not a rookie anymore.
Rookies on field that I have.
Yes,
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Sime.
I wouldn't even know.
I have 3 right now, and as of next week, after using 2 trades, we'll only have 2 left, which I like.
I think I've got 2.
No, you 2. Oh, yeah, actually, you might. You've got an interesting team. You've got a couple of mid-price.
But are you going to get rid of Rao?
I've got Clark and
Rao's
I've
got
got
it.
McCartan.
Rao's not a premium.
Buy
at this point.
Rao.
Yeah, maybe. See how we go.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we look for we had an okay week. It's there. We don't have the final ranks and stuff for this week, but that's fine.
I look forward to next week in our hungover state trying to do a podcast on Supercoach and talk about how we forgot to do trades or captains because we were getting pissed on the Saturday.
There is a
100%.
chance there is no podcast. There is a chance there is no podcast.
No,
Maybe
we
we'll
might
see.
have to do it on a Monday because you know what happens Monday. I believe we might get some. We might be looking at some position
Prostitute.
changes.
Oh, yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, the other P word. Yeah, positional changes. It's so exciting.
If we're going to Melbourne next week, he needs a leash.
Yeah, he does. He does need a leash. All right.
One of those kid backpacks.
Yes, he does. On that note,
Controversy.
We'll park it there and let you know how we went. And then I probably did a little bit better than last week. Hopefully, I'll see that.
Don't end this right now. Because I just want to mention there's a recurring theme in the way you do outros to our pod. Have you noticed it?
No.
Every time you do an outro, you go, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
So can I tell you,
Someone
right.
else send it.
My
Someone
un-
else send it.
my uncle used to cry when he was a kid when
Simo's so unhappy.
When Skippy the bush kangaroo would finish because the helicopter would come in and that was the end credits.
Yeah,
So people start crying when your voice starts to take that tone. That's
Okay.
They're like, fuck. It's
All right, who's ending it? Which one he is?
Kick a barrel and kick another barrel.
Drink a nice beer.
Fuck you, dogs!